One time I actually was doing the human pendulum, and there was a girl in the audience, and we were talking to a male who died in a car accident. And we kept asking questions and we kept getting answers. It turns out it was her brother who had died 3 weeks before. And he was answering, he was in the pendulum. He had come with her.
Where was it you investigated last night?
The Dr. Martin Walton's house
Man,
in Robertson County. And
in where?
Robertson County.
Robertson
Tennessee.
County. Okay.
Yeah. And it's right outside of Cross Plains. They bought the house and they've been redoing it. They originally bought the house to turn into a museum, and then they figured out it was haunted. So I'm like, that's usually how it goes. Yeah.
That's way up there.
Yeah. I live like 15 minutes from there.
So I'll be coming through there not next weekend, but the next. I'm heading up to LBL.
Really?
Land Between the Lakes.
Yeah.
They're having a big meetup up there for the. Where's my tab at? I was looking that up. Where'd you go? I can't see my tab. But yeah, I'm going through. We're going to stay, I think, north of Nashville the night before and just head on up there and meet all the podcast people we've talked to and head back down.
That's cool. Land Between the Lakes is beautiful. I just hope it warms up because it hasn't been. Like I'm like, this is the end of March and it's still cold. I'm just like, because my birthday's on Thursday and I'm like, I don't ever remember it being this cold on my birthday. So yeah I'm miserable. Miserable.
I didn't realize that Bell Witch was up there.
Yes.
I thought it was more to the west of Nashville. I didn't realize it was due north.
Yeah, no, it's 5 minutes from where I live. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where the Bell Witch Caves are.
Adams. It's in
I
Adams.
assume that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got Pat Fitzhugh coming in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The Bell Witch guru, and I cannot wait because I met him up in Nashville back in October. And I was like, it's Pat Fitzhugh.
I haven't met him. I've met a lot, like the SQs I've met, and they're doing their the Bear Witch Cave stuff. And so, of course, I've met them, but I have not met him yet. So that leaves me some. It's nice to know that I have not met everybody.
Yeah. I mean, look, Todd and Leanne are saints among men.
They're good
people.
And
I met them. I had them on my show after I took my first Paracon.
Nice.
And I met them there. I'm like, hey, you should listen. I didn't know who they were. I just had scheduled it. She goes, I think we're coming on tomorrow. I said, are you Todd and Leanne? I gave him a hug. And then they came on the next day. So it was just like a after party to the
Paranormal Right, exactly.
Because everybody from the convention was like in the chat.
Yeah.
That was the weekend I realized this is it. I am not doing anything else. I'm going headlong in the wind.
Yes. It
was great.
And they are really good people. Just the sweetest people. Give you a shirt off their back if you need it.
And they'll sell you one too.
Yeah, but we
$27.
Damn, I'm cheap.
You can tell you something funny. By the way, just so a fourth wall break. I'm just going to start. It's just started. Why not? The show's been on for like 5 minutes. We'll start whenever I see an appropriate time in the editing process. That's when I'll start. But there was a lady dressed up in steampunk outfit with the vest. You know, they always wear the vest and the top hat with the little goggles on it for some reason.
Yes.
And she had this big old Android phone. I've got a little iPhone 12. It looked like this. It looked like this VHS tape. It was an Android. This Android phone was this big, and and she would go up to your face, and she was insane. But she would zoom in, and she go, "Do you see that whale in the clouds? There's a whale in the clouds."
Was she taking pictures of clouds?
And there was a whale in one, and I thought like she was just. I didn't know she was like a booth holder there or something. and so like she's a vendor like me. I thought she was a guest. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, and I didn't think nothing about it. And she went away and cornered Todd about it. Todd next and Leanne's selling me a shirt. I come to find out that she had Todd hemmed up in that conversation about that damn whale for 45 minutes.
And he will stand there and he will
you know, you can't just like walk when somebody's got you like that. Your Southern upbringing can't make you do it.
Stop it.
Like I found out that I baited this lady up and pushed her on Todd and walked away.
Way to go. I feel like that sometimes when I go to events and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go to work. Yeah, but let me tell you this. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go to work. Yeah. But let me tell you this.
Hold on. One more thing.
Nice.
There are some characters you meet doing this, and you got to really. I didn't realize how strong they would come on, and how thick. And you're like, oh, a fan. I'll talk to you. Oh my God, not this late at night, and not all the time.
No. And they will chase you down. They will chase you down for any sort of validation. They will chase you down. And now there are some really, really awesome people too. And you're just like, okay, which one are you? And you can't just dismiss them all. Like you have to put up with the bad and the good. And I mean,
honestly, if they're not just insane, I'll put up with somebody pretty much all the time.
Right.
There's some that want to get on there, and when they start audio calling you on Facebook Messenger,
that's red flag number 1.
I just want to tell you about the experience. No, man.
We are not friends.
Yeah. I don't even accept those calls from friends.
I don't. I'm like,
I don't accept any of those calls.
I'm like, if you don't have my phone number, there is a reason. You don't have my phone
Exactly.
number.
Exactly.
I don't think my mom would be brave enough to try to FaceTime me on Facebook. Well, she knows I would just hit that button quick, and they'll do it over and over and over and over.
Oh yeah, drive you crazy. Yes, I've had.
And I don't know if because you're in kind of like the phantasmo space, the ghost and whatnot. But I've got all 3 going, and plus science, plus anything that might tickle my fancy at that particular moment.
Right.
But when you start dealing these UFO people, and I'm not talking about Preston Dennett, who's having on. I'm not talking about his bunch. I'm talking about these guys, and I don't know what it is. It's always a black dude hanging out with a white dude, and they always like in these conventions together. And I don't know why it's always those 2.
It's true. It is.
I don't know
true.
why it's always that convo, but they will not leave you alone.
No, no.
And one of them is always called Dr. something.
Yes. Yeah. And you go, well, where did you go to school?
And they always have like these news articles and stuff they've written and pamphlets. And they just bombard you. I had to block them. Like, when are you going to have me on? I've gave you my schedule. I can't do that. How about Saturday morning? No, I got.
Yeah, no. My schedule is Sundays. I'm telling you, I can't do UFOs, and I can't do cryptid hunting only because my black ass doesn't do the outside. Right? I will look through the window all day long and be like, hey, yes, good job, I don't do outside.
The outside. I gotta tell you, I was shocked to see at South Pittsburgh. I was like, what is this? Got a rare Pokemon in here.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just like, I'm there. I'm at Harriman. I go out to Octagon Hall, love Octagon Hall, but I think that's as rural as I'll get. Like, I cannot do the outside. I need plumbing.
Yeah.
A little bit of warmth. Yeah. Even if there's no air conditioner, I'm okay if it's too hot. I would rather be hot than cold all day long. All day long. So yeah. But I listen to them and they're like, you got to come out sometime. We got this telescope that I control with my phone and we catch things. And I'm like, I'm not going to be there.
Well, that all sounds well and good. You have fun doing that.
Yeah. They're like, well, we get out there and we start looking and we start drinking. And I was like, that's a bonfire. What are we doing? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a big camp out.
Yeah. Why? So yeah, I hunt. I'm a paranormal investigator that just does ghosts. I don't do cryptids, and I don't do the whole trifecta because, like I said, I don't do the outside. And if you're gonna try to know something about something, then you have to focus on one thing, right? And so I focus all of my energy on ghosts and in the paranormal, actual spirits. So like Jack Kenna, he focused on the demonology end, right? And, and then you've got Richard Stepp, and he also focuses on the science of ghosts as well. And so, yeah, that's my focus, and I want to write books. Like,
there's a lot more material with the there's a lot more concrete evidence, for lack of a better word, with the ghost bunch than there is with the rest of it.
Yeah,
because you're always getting stuff. You're always getting I'm getting a get out or I'll kill you. Or,
yeah.
But like when the government came out and was like, yeah, there's aliens. I know there was at least 100 ufologists were like, yes. Just like,
I haven't done anything since.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at
They're
all.
like, finally, we've been vindicated.
And they all retired.
They're done. Exactly.
Then we had those paper mache ones in Mexico.
Yes.
Which,
oh yeah,
in the world.
And I will never go to Brazil because they have the most UFO activity out there than I've ever seen. Because you've got the Burning Man, you've got the lead mask incident. You've got, there's just so many. The guy who walked out into a yellow fog and just disappeared, like all in Brazil. And I'm like, I never wanted to go to Brazil anyway.
Yeah,
they've got that documentary that came out from there last year, The Moment of Contact.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
I've been hearing about that. I did see that a while back, actually.
It's all in Portuguese. Is that the word? That's their language?
Yeah.
It's all the people who are in Portuguese, but they do a job of translating. Yeah. And these people get emotional. One guy talks about it. I'm like, man, he really saw something. They start crying. Gun got pulled at one point.
The Burning Man. I watched a documentary on it. This guy came home from fishing, went into his house, got flashed with a light from outside his window, and he melted. Took 6 hours for him to die, but he literally melted. I was like, when does that get fun, right? Like,
yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
I don't need to know that bad. I'm good.
There's also the aspect of everybody like getting suicided lately.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're not even trying to hide it anymore.
Yes.
That's actually kind of in line with what I was going to say. I was, my thought there was just, what exactly are you trying to find?
Exactly.
If somebody got melted, it's like, what, do you want it to happen again?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping this was a one-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a misfire. Maybe a bottle episode at best.
It was a backfire.
Yeah.
And he just got there.
Exactly. Just wrong place, wrong time.
Right. And then as far as suicided people, I honestly think that's why the government came out and was like, yes, there's aliens, because there were too many people that had to go to keep the secret. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it had to
I can see that.
loosen the pressure valve a little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly. They couldn't really contain it anymore.
Right.
So they're like, all right, just let it go.
Right, exactly. And I remember the whole Area 51 thing, right? Because I'm ex-military. My husband is ex-military. My whole family has been military, right? And when people were like, we're signing a petition, we're going to Area 51, we're gonna storm it. And I was like,
I got a shirt that says that.
I was like, y'all know you gonna die, right?
Do you remember when that was?
That was 2 years ago, I believe.
September 2019.
Yeah.
It feels like a million years ago. It feels like 50 years ago.
Because it was right before the close down and everything. And for COVID.
That's right.
Yeah. And they were like,
that's right.
They were like, we're gonna storm the gates. And then what did they do? Because we're Americans, we had a party. And I'm like,
at 3 a.m.
Yeah. That's the way.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why the government is not worried about us. So
they all took pictures outside. I remember getting on Twitter live that morning. I woke up like an hour early just to watch it because I knew somebody was about to get smoked.
Yeah, exactly.
At least one poor little white kid didn't
who thought it was just, we're gonna get the aliens, and I was like, no,
we're gonna find answers. We're gonna get the answers this time.
So I think that's why
he just ninja runs in.
Right. And because there were too many people to kill. You can't suicide a bunch of people in those numbers and not bring that type of smoke.
Why am I picturing Jack Black?
Somebody would definitely notice.
A lot of people would definitely notice.
Like, look, guys, everybody's getting turned into ashes for some reason. We don't know.
And that guy's getting melted because I hate that guy.
Freaking laser beams.
That's right.
Yep.
That guy. Hate his face.
I had like an alternate, like a more pleasant idea of why they released decided to release it right then, similar to why they did it back in the Area 51. Roswell, that they were trying to throw up a smoke screen saying that these were aliens because they had a special project.
Right. Look,
like maybe the spheres were us
over here.
Yeah.
But what kind of special project is so special that you threw out aliens? Just like, how huge is this project that you said aliens?
Plan B was full disclosure.
Yeah.
What?
Like I had the exact same thought whenever they actually had the disclosure.
Right.
Back a couple years, whatever it was. I was like, hold on. So what are you trying to distract us from if you're giving us aliens are real?
Right. Aliens. I'm
like that's
y'all didn't.
And everyone's just like, all right, cool.
And the fact that it didn't even shock us. Like we were
exactly.
All of America was like, man, fuck it. All of America was like, yeah, but is that going to pay my rent? No. So nobody cares. So I was like, y'all thought you guys were doing something, but now we're looking harder. So
this one comedian said, tell aliens we'll call them back.
That's right.
We got some shit going on right now.
That's right.
We'll call him back.
I was just like, and then you've got the religious end, and they're like, oh, there's demons. And we're like, no, they said aliens. And they're like, aliens equal demons. And I'm like, how does that?
That's a little bit that's a little bit theologically correct, but I don't know about this time.
There's definitely an argument there, but at the same time, it is
Right.
one of those. I do feel it is dramatically overplayed.
It's
So-
way out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like
yeah.
you could make an argument, but really,
Yeah,
save
it's
that.
like what
You should
what
save
really
that in
about
your back
this
pocket.
specific incident screams demon.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. And then at what point do you want to have that conversation? Because it just seems
Yeah.
like everything is about demons at that point. And so then you're just like, then you're digging a hole and you can't get out.
Yeah, not
feel like at some
everything can
point-
be about demons.
Right.
I feel like at some point you're diminishing the value of the demon.
Right.
Exactly.
Do you think they're down in hell going, there they go again? God, nobody's going to be scared of us anymore.
Not us. It's not us.
Look, we just take over people. We don't do that.
That's
Okay,
right.
stop attributing that to us, please.
They're like, when does alien probes get fun? Not on my street.
Yeah. Like
We're
demons are
about
literally
ruling your soul,
fallen
not
angels.
probing your butt.
That's right.
You gotta really go walk. You gotta go a long way to circle back to that.
Exactly.
He's a demon.
Exactly. Like, calm down, Janet.
Got 3 scratches. Look out.
Yeah, exactly. Now I've had the 3 scratches, and I don't know if it means what we think it means. I'm just saying.
You know,
It happened.
I had a lady on here. She was a medium and a psychic. And she said there's so many ghost pets out there that attributed to the scratches that everyone says is a demon. She goes, I've been in a house with ghost cats. Somebody gets scratched and it's literally a cat. You're like getting all kinds of like EVPs that are meows and stuff.
Fluffy was a demon in life. Fluffy is a demon in death.
If you think a dead cat wouldn't scratch you.
Right. Just like I feel that. I'm just like it's not always what you think it is.
Cats are ready to eat you when you fall asleep anyway in the living.
Yeah,
I can't
like,
imagine if they had free reign of all dimensions.
They're looking at each other. They're like, you think she's dead? She might be dead.
Yeah.
Let's bite her to find out.
that was a little quick. It's been 15 minutes.
Like, I just closed my eyes.
It was a little fast.
But yeah, a cat will eat you
Mhm.
first day. It takes a dog 3 days if he's going to eat you. Dogs are loyal. My cats.
Good to know.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days seems kind of quick.
I mean, 1 day is quicker. Cats.
Yeah, that's
1 day is-
true.
But and
You
then
don't even
the whole cryptid thing. People want me to go out and hunt Bigfoot. I figure he's hiding for a reason.
Mhm.
But then you get all the stories of Bigfoot, and it just makes me not want to go out there even more. The smell alone
Mhm.
makes
The
me
skunk,
not want to go out there.
the skunk ape.
Yes, and then the boulders. He's throwing boulders in trees like King Kong in the King Kong movie, and the people are like, "I'm going to go hunt that."
They initiate contact by throwing rocks at you. Just
Yes.
all they do. Beaming you.
If I
Stick at you.
ever did anything like that, I'm definitely bringing a gun with me. I am not going out there not armed at all.
I love to watch the shows though. Like here recently, I've been watching Killer Bigfoot from Alaska,
Mhm.
and it's on it's about that tribe that got chased out of their lands because of Bigfoot. Like 30 people went missing and all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff because of Bigfoot. Knock, they call him. And it's comical
Mhm.
because now they were out in the water of the ocean and their boat like stopped moving and they were like, it's knock. And I was like, when does Bigfoot go in the water? What?
Hey,
Wait. I think you just
a
lost
deep topic.
Yeah. I'm like, so with Bigfoot, there's just a lot of pain involved, and I'm not there for it.
There's a ton of like weird things you hear about. Like you get the guys that hear, getting rocks thrown at them, the harmless stuff.
Yeah.
And then you hear the people who get headaches and throw up and their cell phone dies on them. You lose time.
That one I heard about, and I was kind of interested in that because I feel like interdimensional beings are real, right? Because we deal in ghosts, right? And I feel like that's on the cusp of interdimensional beings.
I think it's the very definition.
Right. And so if you look at Bigfoot as a whole, if you look at the Yeti and the Sasquatch and every other iteration of Bigfoot in the world, it has to be interdimensional. It just has to be. There's never been a skeleton. There's never been you know what I mean? It just, I don't know how else to explain it. And then with the time loss, people getting headaches, especially if they're very sensitive, it just leads me to believe that that's part of it.
Hey, if you take the fairy lore and the Bigfoot lore, they lay right on top of each other.
They really do. Really do.
That'll freak you out a little bit because it's the same stuff. Because if a fairy gives you something and you eat it, they become part of them. Yeah. But it also turns to leaves. Yeah. Whatever it was. So what if when Bigfoot dies or sheds or whatever they do before they bounce back over, what if they turn to leaves? Yeah. No body. Yeah.
There's nothing left. Yeah. And so I think of that and I go, okay, so basically it's a case of smoke and mirrors. You're never going to find it. You're never going to capture it. You're chasing smoke.
There's nothing to capture.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like, and I had this conversation with my mom and she's like, I don't believe in it. And I was like, how can you not believe in it? I was like, honestly, there's an iteration of Bigfoot in every culture in the world. It's
as
not
long as you can look back.
Forever. And you can't just say that's not real because every culture in the world hasn't met every other culture in the world to pass on that particular lore. Right?
And the cave drawings.
With the cave drawings, exactly. There's all kinds of proof that it is a real thing, but I don't think you're going to catch it.
Nope. So that's what's so frustrating. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, maybe I should just give up this whole obsession because it's kind of, maybe we're not supposed to. It's like, maybe we're not supposed to see that, like that kind of thing, but I don't think we'd get revealed as much as we do if we weren't supposed to at least be a little interested.
But every story that I've ever heard, every story I've ever heard of Bigfoot coming in contact with a human being, usually if the human being gets hurt, it's because they were being dumb. Yep. Or Bigfoot has done something to save that human being, whether it's ward them off, make sure they get to a safe place. That 4-year-old that they found on the side of the road. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
so it's a bear raised her, a bear helped her.
Yeah, she's like the big bear helped me. Yeah. And so every story you hear, I don't think that Bigfoot is as malicious as everybody says it is, but I'm not willing to find out because again, that's on the outside. I don't go on the outside.
I've been to the Bigfoot camp before. It's a weird feeling. I did not know how serious that bunch was.
It is serious business. And then you get it, and then you've got a bunch of people with guns in the dark.
Including myself.
Just doesn't sound like a good thing to me. It just doesn't sound right. It's not safe.
I totally agree. And I guess one point there, though. I can't think of any movies that I've seen that have ever started like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could be a good thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll come to their defense. Most of them retired military, retired cop, and there's a lot of discipline. There's a lot of they have radios and base camps, and I was like, I said, this feels like when I worked for the police department. That seems like the same stuff.
It is true. It is true. And a lot of them have seen some shit, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of them have personal stories that brought them to that point. It's the other yahoos that I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, the ones who just want to hunt Bigfoot. So they bring out the cooler and they grab their rifles and they're gonna hunt Bigfoot and they get trashed and they end up shooting each other in the butts. It's not safe.
Agree.
For every professional, there's 50 not.
Exactly. I feel like in the paranormal community as a whole, there's always somebody looking for that show, right? The show that'll never happen. And the ones who are like, well, we live out here in the woods. While we hunt Bigfoot, we'll get a show. And I'm like, oh, Lord. Stop. Stop it. The show is not going to come, dude.
Nope.
You don't get
and if you did find him, you would know about it before the show aired, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
You think they found it this season? No, because we had heard it on the news.
We would have known about it already. It's like that. What was that island that they were looking for the buried gold? Oak Island?
Oak Island? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that show.
They still haven't found the damn gold.
Well, okay.
Seasons.
So you're not.
They got a little
wrong.
closer. They got a little closer.
They have definitely gotten closer, and they actually just recently. Well, that's what they're trying. They don't know exactly what it is.
Get the ratings,
but they are getting closer to it.
They hit a stump. Hit a stump with their drill.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I have watched this show for years. I love this show. And so I'm going to hardcore defend it. But I'm not. You are right. That is a very valid criticism.
That is great. Oh my goodness. That makes me happy. That makes my heart happy. Like, not just that I was right, but that somebody actually loves that show.
It is. Yeah. It is a cult classic.
Yeah, and well, it's like because as a fan of the show, the thing that actually makes it so interesting is the historical like narratives and the history they're figuring out behind it.
Yeah.
That makes it so interesting.
Yes.
The whole fact that they haven't found a treasure yet is kind of secondary. And that whole stupid, one person will have to die before they can. That's stupid. They made that up for the show. That's not even real.
They made it up. I didn't even know. It's like a curse?
No. The actual curse part of it is ridiculous. Yeah. There is no real curse other than the fact that every time they get close, something weird happens. Which
like Skinwalker Ranch.
You could go into the paranormal realm at that point.
Yes.
So like the most recent episode, they were digging a hole 110 feet in the ground, and they found some walkway that had no walls, but it had a floor. And on next week's episode, apparently it starts flooding. So it's like, but like that's part of the lore behind it is that there are flood tunnels that flood the area. So
got it.
Anyways, I'll stop defending it. Sorry, I took over the conversation.
They had found the flood tunnels in the first season, so they keep finding more flood tunnels.
Yeah, or it's just different iterations of the same flood tunnels. So, but even I'm still like, I don't know quite how those flood tunnels were made.
Yeah. But
okay.
It's a lot like Skinwalker Ranch, where they see a whole bunch of stuff, but they never quite catch it on camera. Like,
yeah.
worst paranormal investigators ever.
Skinwalker.
Well, man, they got a show out of it.
Beyond the show, they actually have they actually have stuff they found. Like Travis Taylor won't let his daughter go out there, kind of thing.
Travis Taylor, that guy. So he is he's like got doctorates in like multiple like
He's
science.
from here.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He sounds like a bag of rocks. Like just the accent, the accent makes him, and I tell my daughter all the time, I'm like, country don't mean dumb, right? Just because you sound country doesn't mean dumb. But when you meet somebody, that's automatically the switch that's turned, right? As soon as you hear
hey there, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you hear it, you want to dumb down your conversation with them, and they might be more brilliant than you. But because you hear that accent, you're like, my name is JB.
It's funny to see when you see him out there with all those degrees on the wall.
Yes, yeah, he's from
just down the road.
Yeah, he's an amazing academic, and I'm just like, but damn it, if he doesn't sound like he's dumb as shit.
I'd love to have him on the show, but I had a Skinwalker debunker on here once, and he saw the tweet and said, "This is stupid." I'm like, "Oh no,
damn it!
I've inadvertently burned the bridge with Travis Taylor. I have to wait till he's on his way down."
Just call him on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
Push a button and let it ring. Travis, I love you.
Send him some blob squatches and a picture.
Right. Yeah. Nice big red circles.
I'll tell you the advantage his bunch has over anybody else is they have that billionaire backing.
Yeah.
And I don't know why there's none of that with does the Ghost Realm have one of those? Have like an Elon Musk that's funding his research? Like
we don't.
You would think I would think the Bigfoot world would have one.
I would think so too. But they don't. And
if I was a billionaire, we would find Bigfoot if I was a billionaire, by golly.
But if you think
something
about it, with Skinwalker Ranch, you get 2 out of the 3 though, because you have ufology and you have cryptid. So there's your billionaire backing for the cryptid part.
It's almost answering the same question if they're related. They're getting a lot of the same stuff. Yeah, because they see Dogman out there a lot.
And you know what? I had no idea about Dogman. I thought Dogman and werewolves were the same. And they're not. And I'm like, how are they different? But I guess because they don't phase, or they're not like a werewolf is a werewolf for a certain amount of time, where Dogman is Dogman all the time. I'm not sure. But I was like, it's a werewolf. And they were like, no, it's Dogman. I was just like, what?
I don't go near it for the most part because it is a very sensitive subject. And people get livid over Dogman.
I have issues with people and actual skinwalkers. They get livid over skinwalkers. And
you can't say it?
No, you can't even mention it, because in their mind, as soon as you point it out, you're calling it to where you are.
I've had people say, quit taking it.
Quit talking about it. It's like, Beetlejuice. Just as soon as you say it, you manifest it.
It's Michael Keaton.
Yeah. So we want to bring Michael Keaton. So yeah, say it again. One more time.
There's a lot of folks out there that like to say they're indigenous.
Yeah.
And you can't say the word skinwalker around them.
So that's the other thing, right? I understand wanting to be an ally to the indigenous people, right? I understand wanting to be allied with people who have been oppressed for so long, right? But that's like white people going, well, I'm black. I'm part black. Just like, And I'm like, where? Well, I smashed my toe and it's black. And I'm just like, just be an ally. You don't have to be part Cherokee. Everybody is part Cherokee. Like, no, there were other tribes out there, you guys. They were all Cherokee.
Yeah.
Who did I get on a rant with that about? Oh, it's the guy that tonight, he's an anthropologist. I was asking about the Cherokee thing, how all people think they're part Cherokee, and they're not, including myself. I had to go through that. I had to go through that because I thought I was 25%. I've been told my whole life, nothing, not any, 0.
It's
as the driven snow.
But you are still an ally because for the longest time you thought you were, right?
I thought it was just a given.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, there are people out there who want to be so bad, and you have to stop telling that narrative. You have to stop pushing that narrative because then you're cheapening it. You're making it not as powerful when you look at somebody and be like, well, I'm part Indian, or I'm part Native American. And just like,
yeah.
And you don't live on a reservation. You didn't grow up in dirt poor poverty. You see what I'm saying? And it's okay to be an ally. You don't have to be one to be an ally. So
oh, it's just around here. Everybody says their great grandma was a Cherokee princess, and I heard it too. Wow. And I heard, and we had a guy at work who I was just like, he goes, "Yeah, I'm part Cherokee." I said, "No, you're not." He goes, "Man, my great grandma was." I said, "Are you about to say Cherokee princess right now?" He goes, "How'd you know?" Like, I know. I've been there.
Everybody says it.
I said, "You're not Cherokee."
And if they just track back, all they got to do is track back to when the Trail of Tears started. And guess what? Your great grandmother wouldn't have been here in Tennessee, just so you know. So, yeah.
Well, they came through my home county. The Trail of Tears did. Maybe it could have been.
It could have happened. I mean,
but it did not, according to my DNA.
23 in me.
Unless it came through Eastern Europe. They did not. They made their way through the Balkan states. They did not come through there.
He said, "I am Viking of the Caucasus Mountains."
I am from the mountain of Caucasus. I said, "I'm white as the driven snow." Who did I talk to about this? I mean, I just did this like a week ago. But I was like telling them about how it was this weird, like as outdoorsy as I grew up, and as back in the sticks as I grew up, like it was like, well, we're part Cherokee. I mean, we're from these hills. Of course, I'm good at shooting a bow and killing deer and camping and out here and all this stuff. I'm literally part of the land, and found out, no, I'm not. It broke my heart. It broke my heart, and it still hurts.
I'm scared to do a 23andMe or anything like that because, well, I'm half white, right? And my dad was adopted. My dad was black as tar, right? So,
you can't say that.
Why can't I say that?
That's what I always
that was
that's fun. If there's anyone here who can,
I'm like a white liberal lady from a suburb. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Don't say that. Like
I'm offended.
But so I know my mom has got like German and Irish and stuff like that, but nobody knows like where my dad's people came from. So I'm scared to do a 23andMe because I'm like, what if I have like all the nations? It's just
start clicking
all there. I've got civilization just living in my body. And my daughter, like, to prove a point on genetics, my daughter is white. When I say she's white, I mean she's white. I'll show you a picture.
People from Africa descent, if they have 100% African descent, do not have any Neanderthal.
None at all?
It's all Neanderthals are never in Africa.
Wow. So that is my daughter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So it just genetics kind of did a little cut around.
Yeah. Skipped right over me. And people are like, people are like, is that your daughter? And I'm like, yes. You mind me asking how? And I'm like, yes.
I do.
Actually, I do mind that.
I mean, she's 70%
White.
what's the word? White. I'm trying to think, like, what is a European? I try to, of course. So it would make sense that she would be that light.
Right.
It's weird how genetics work.
It is because for the life of me, I always thought black was a dominant trait. But I guess if you have more of a different trait, that trait's going to come through stronger.
It's a 3-to-1 ratio there.
Yeah, it really is. And my husband is from Wales.
Yeah.
Also from the mountains of Caucasus.
You got a couple problems with those people too. I got whales. I have whales in me.
And they're in the clouds too. And we came full circle.
Yay!
They're whales in the clouds.
Do you see the whales in the clouds?
See the whales? I'd find a picture of her. In this. Also, why is Dinosaurus, this obscure 1960s movie, just hanging out on my table?
Yeah, where did you pick up a VHS tape?
Well, this is one of mine. I had it since I was a kid.
So why is it just laying out?
Well, the guy I had on last week, who's playing live right now on a premiere, he has a podcast called Screens of the Stone Age, and there's a caveman scene in this movie. And so I said, have you ever seen this one? And I got it out, and it's been sitting there. His podcast is reviewing caveman movies. And it's hilarious. But I got this out. He goes, man, I haven't watched it yet. I've got a stack of VHSs up there.
I have been trolling through all of the old Godzilla movies. I love Godzilla. Love Godzilla. I cannot help it. Man,
the first one was wild.
The first one was crazy. So the first one, Godzilla's killing everything, and he doesn't
Gojira.
care. Right, Gojira. Yeah, taking out Tokyo as many times as they had to rebuild Tokyo.
You would have figured they'd learn.
But... Right, but no, they didn't. They didn't. Instead, they put a nuclear reactor right there.
Hiroshima.
But yeah, and then suddenly you watch the progression of him getting a moral standard where he's trying to protect the earth and protect the humans, and then you're just like, all right, Godzilla, okay, they only killed your ass once.
They tried to make it kind of kid friendly toward the middle of there.
Yeah, they did with the 80s and the kid that could talk to Godzilla. Yeah, that was sad.
The first Godzilla, he was an allegory for the nuclear bomb, though.
Yes.
He was not anyone's friend.
No, he didn't like anybody. But I love the Godzilla movies. Love.
Bump.
I mean, at what point do you just stand there and watch all the lights light up his back and go, I wonder what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
And he starts spitting fire. And you're like, that's not natural.
Did you see -1?
I haven't seen -1 yet. I'm waiting.
It's the best one.
Is it?
Oh, it's wild. I saw it in the theater.
I want to see.
That's the recent one?
Yeah,
the one that's all in Japanese. Oh
okay.
my god.
Yeah,
that's an emotional experience.
I want to see.
I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah,
you got to watch it in you don't have to be in the theater, but like somehow in a dark room where it's all you can see.
Yeah, because the newer Godzilla movies, unless it's during the day during the fight, you can barely see any of the monsters fighting. It's just so dark.
It's like the Battle of Winterfell.
Right. And it's like, no matter if you get it in 1080p or not, it's just too dark to see.
Well, they did this new one. It was almost like a drama with Godzilla in it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I want to see it so bad. I love Godzilla. He's epic to me. When Godzilla versus Kong came out, I was torn. Like, because I love them both. And I was like, oh, somebody's got to die? Like, who am I cheering for?
Spoiler alert.
Right, exactly. I wasn't going to say anything, but I was torn. I was ate up through the whole movie.
Have you seen the Monarch show? Monarch Legacy of Monsters?
Uh-uh.
You need to watch it. It's good. It's the same universe as the Godzilla Kong.
Okay. I'll have to watch it.
It's the guy that the Japanese guy that's always chasing him around in the new Godzillas.
Oh, the one from Godzilla versus Kong, or no, King of Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a guy that's chasing him around on that, and it's about his family.
Nice.
It is.
Nice.
It is one of the best shows to come out in like 10 years.
I have to see it. And it's on Max, right? It's got to be on Max because all of the Godzilla movies are on Max.
I want to say it's Apple, honestly.
Really?
Apple TV, yeah.
Huh.
I watch it on the high seas, so I don't really know. But arg.
Well, I'm going to Greece next month at the end of May. I'm going to Greece. So I'm going to be on the high seas. I'm excited.
Greece.
Greece. Yeah. So my husband forgot Valentine's Day last year. And it upset me. So he bought us tickets for a cruise.
That's more than a bouquet of flowers.
That's right.
We're going to Greece.
Well, because we had been talking about cruises and I didn't want to just go to a beach. Like everybody gets on a cruise and they're like, we're going to the beach. We're going to get drunk.
I would not.
Well, I'm diabetic, can't drink. He's got a sickness. He can't drink. And we don't really give a shit about the beach.
Yeah,
so
you've seen them all.
Right. And I was like, I want to go somewhere where I can be Indiana fucking Jones. I want to see old stuff. I want to go experience new cultures. And so, yeah, we're starting in Greece. We start in Athens and we end in Venice. It's a 7-day cruise.
So you're going to like Greece, then Italy.
Yeah.
Like around the boot.
Yeah. I'm so excited. It's so exciting. And so, because, as a paranormal investigator, and you guys will understand this, it's not just about whether there's ghosts. It's about the history of the location as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? And learning the history of something makes it more real for you when you find the ghosts, when you experience something paranormal, right? So it calls to me the history of things.
Start feeling that residual energy.
Yeah.
When something's there.
Yeah.
It's like being in an old Native American cave.
Yes.
Caverns or something like that.
Yes. In El Paso, we have Carlsbad Caverns. And yeah, you feel it as soon as you walk in. It's just so, it envelops you. So yeah, I'm all about it. I want to go and experience that stuff. I don't give a shit about the beaches. I don't care about wine tastings and food tastings. I don't care about that. I don't even food. Yeah, I don't care about the boat. Like I care about the locations. And we're going to like Croatia. We're going to Montenegro. It's all up the Aegean Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aegean
Sea. Yeah, the Aegean Sea.
Algerian Sea, the Albertians. What is? Are you going to Pompeii?
No, but we're going to Crete.
They had the Pompeii's got the they say the penises on the ground leading to the houses of ill repute.
Oh,
yeah, the ancient penis carvings.
I need to go see the ancient penis carvings. Like
you can see Mount Fuji or Mount Vesuvius and a penis.
You think they're overly exaggerated? Like you think that they carve the penises and they're like no bigger.
Like Kylo Ren, more. They were.
I just find it interesting. We're still doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
No different than they are now. They were leading. Exactly. They led the way to the brothels back. That's what they were doing.
Okay, so it was like a highway, a penis highway.
It was in the sidewalks, and when you had to take a turn, it'd be like one. It was like crooked, and it went this way in an L shape. Look it up. My boss went there. He showed me pictures. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
Awesome. That is,
We knew it was
I
up.
want to see stuff like that. I want
That
to
is not
know
false
stuff.
advertising.
But yeah, I want to experience that stuff, because I feel like civilization today is very dry.
Mhm.
We're
Boring.
very the don't say sex, don't say how you like it. And back then they were very open about their sexual appeals and
Mhm.
their but we are very dry. We are very boring. Like,
Especially here in
yeah,
America.
especially here in the United States. And I'm like, y'all need to open up. Everybody's doing it. Get over it. But not so much.
Don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it. We can do it. We just don't talk about it. No,
Go to
that's
Adam and Eve,
private.
adamandeve.com.
So exactly. And I feel like back then they were very open about their prowess. And so it's just a really magical time to get to see, and so yeah, I would like to see that. I also want to
Especially
go
that
to
part of the world.
yeah, I'd like to go see Casablanca. I'd like to go to Istanbul. I want to see the world. And my last kid is graduating next month, so I can go.
Mhm.
I'm out.
They're out. They gone.
We outie like 4,000.
Venice. Venice has always been intriguing because they got the well, not just because Indiana Jones, but like
Venice.
yeah. Could open up a well down here and retire.
Well, and there's the whole Venice is sinking thing now.
Hmm.
So,
I've heard about that.
yeah, Venice is sinking and they're worried that, eventually if they don't figure it out, it's going to go away, and then you've got like, the 007 movie where he blows up and sinks a whole house and stuff like that. And you're like, hell yeah, Venice.
Is it on the ocean or is it in like freshwater?
It's like an inlet, but I'm not
I
sure
need
if
to go
it's
there.
freshwater or saltwater.
So random.
Yeah, it is very random.
I would like to know if it's bigger or smaller than I think it is in my mind.
It's actually bigger than you think it is in your mind.
Yeah, I don't know what I think, but I feel like it's. I think like one creek down the sidewalk and
No,
just the whole place.
I was looking at a whole like map of Venice, and they have so many canals. There's over 190 bridges, like over the different canals connecting it all together. The bridges are a really big deal in Venice. It's so much bigger than you think it is.
It's that part of the show where I get out the Google Maps and start looking at stuff.
Looking at Venice.
That's what I'm doing.
Street view, baby.
That's what I'm looking at. Somebody said my show is good until I start Googling stuff and then it takes a turn. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Deal
massive.
with it. Cool. Yeah. I'm just picturing that big open area that Indiana Jones was on with the boat.
Right. And he's like speeding through between boats and stuff. That was such a good movie. I might watch that movie tonight.
My soul is prepared. How is yours?
Rats. Dad would never come down here. He hates rats.
Hates rats. He's as giddy as a schoolboy. She talks in her sleep. Dad. What? Dad? What? That dirty Dr. Jones.
I love it. I didn't like the last movie though.
You're not supposed to. They all suck.
It was so
Dial of Destiny.
Dial of Destiny. Yeah. I was like,
What about Crystal Skulls?
Nope, didn't like that one either.
I think I would take
Crystal Skulls was stupid.
Crystal Skulls.
I would definitely take Dial of Destiny over Crystal Skulls.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But it still was. It was mediocre. I kind of described it as a bit of a parody of itself. Yeah.
They should have just left it alone. They really should have just left it alone at The Last Crusade.
Yeah.
I knew they'd get money out of it regardless.
They did, and they did.
Yeah.
They really did. It's like I love Star Wars. I love the original movies. I love 2 of the beginning movies, and
The
I really
prequels.
didn't like any of the last ones.
No, you're not supposed to. They're awful.
Yeah.
You're
So
going to retcon those.
yeah, and I'm just like, y'all should have stopped with Return of the Jedi. Like, why not just stop? You know, why does the story have to keep going? But Disney's like, there's money to be made. Like, I hated Solo.
Yeah.
Solo sucked. So
I think
yeah,
they're trying to pretend it didn't happen.
I think I fell asleep in Solo. Actually, wait, I don't think I saw Solo. I saw Rogue One. That's what it was. I saw Rogue One, and I totally fell asleep in that.
I don't think that Rogue One needed to have a story. Like, I don't think it needed to have its own movie. Like, they mentioned them in New Hope, and you move the fuck along.
Yeah, it's like this whole thing.
Yeah.
This whole movie is a prequel to explain what's happening in the opening of New Hope.
Right, exactly.
Like,
it's a prequel to a conversation.
not even. It was a whip.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was somehow better than Force Awakens.
Yes. God. Those movies were like, they were so painful.
Vader sparked that lightsaber.
I just have weird tastes.
Yeah. Although at the end of Rogue One, where Darth Vader shows up and like shows them who's boss, that was the best part of the whole movie.
I think that's why I like it so much. Because of that scene.
That one scene.
Because it was dark and all of a sudden you see.
And I was like, oh, what? Oh.
Didn't they do an Obi-Wan movie too? Or was that just a TV
show?
Miniseries.
Okay, because I heard that was not that good at all.
Yeah, and the book of Boba Fett. Like, I didn't need to hear about Boba Fett.
Mandalorian was good.
The Mandalorian is bussin'. I like the Mandalorian.
I didn't know how bad I hated Kathleen Kennedy's trilogy until I saw Mandalorian. Like, this is what I wanted. This is what you're supposed to do.
Yes. I love the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian was good. And they're about to come out with the 3rd season.
You got Bo-Katan from Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
That was a good character.
Yes. So my husband wanted to go see what's his name from Battlestar Galactica? God. The commander guy. What's his name?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Let me look.
God. Anyway, it's there. Like, I can see
Edward James Olmos.
That's it.
Yeah, that's who it is.
In Stand and Deliver.
I knew it was something like that. It was one of those 3 names.
Yeah.
3 names.
Like James Earl Jones, or
exactly.
So he was at Scarefest. Not Scarefest. Scarefest. He was at Scarefest. So we went to Scarefest just so he could meet him. And he's like 5'2". Like, he's a tiny little guy. He's itty bitty, but he is like, he's just an epically sweet guy. It's like, what's his name? Machete. What's his name?
Danny Trejo.
Yeah, that guy is only 4'8".
4'8".
Freaking tiny. He is the shortest
that surprised me. It both surprises me and doesn't surprise me.
He's tiny. Google it. How tall is Danny Trejo?
So when they had his head on that turtle in Breaking Bad, that was actual height.
he was in the body cavity.
Yeah, he was just riding the turtle. 5'6".
He's 5'6". Yeah. He's a
shorter
tiny guy.
I'm a little fella.
He is a little fella.
I'll tell you this: if Dune keeps up what they're doing, they're going to body Star Wars. I'm talking about original trilogy and new trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah. The new Dune really was good.
I mean, it was. They knew what we needed.
Mm-hmm.
It was like water on Arrakis. It was precious. I loved it.
It was so precious. But I do like the Marvel movies. I'm not gonna lie. I'm down for Marvel movies and the Marvel TV shows, except for She-Hulk. I hated She-Hulk. It sucked.
I don't even know what they were thinking.
There are some heroes that we don't need. Like, you could have kept She-Hulk and made the Scarlet Witch an actual good guy. Like, I like the Scarlet Witch. I don't like She-Hulk. And I didn't like the whole lawyer thing and her walking around all green and big with floppy hair. I hated her. I hated it.
I loved WandaVision.
WandaVision was awesome. Loved WandaVision. I loved WandaVision.
Made you feel weird to watch it?
Yeah.
I was like, why is this in the 50s?
Yeah.
What don't I know?
It was crazy how it started and then the progression. But I hate that she couldn't make the delineation between what she created and real life to the point where she had to die in multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I really do. And she was so much better than that in my head.
It was Agatha the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agatha the whole time. I still wasn't figuring that one out. I'm like, what in the world?
It's crazy, right?
Well, do you like that show about Morbius? Not Morbius. Samuel L. Jackson?
I was going to say Morbius.
Fury.
We don't talk about Morbius. Morbius was a shit movie. I have not seen The Secret War yet.
Fury? Was it?
It wasn't Fury. It's the Fury is helping the shapeshifters or whatever. It's a secret war or whatever, but I haven't yet.
I did like the Loki movie.
Loved the Loki movies, TV shows. Yeah. I liked him anyway because like he wasn't like straight out malicious. Like he was like more a playful bad guy. So I liked him anyway. So
the Time Variant Authority is coming into the new Wolverine movie.
Is it?
Yeah, because apparently there's like an alternate universe Deadpool where Ryan Reynolds doesn't know he's Deadpool. And he creates a Nexus event and gets taken back to the Time Variance Authority.
Oh.
He's just burnt the hell up wearing a members only jacket. And so tells and shows all his other universes where he's a superhero. He's like, what? I think it's going to be a good one.
I want to see it. I love Deadpool though. Deadpool, the whole anti-hero thing just cracks me up.
I said they should have made a Deadpool version with Boba Fett, and that'd be Boba Fett's movies.
Yes.
Like he's like the fourth wall breaker.
Yes.
Is this supposedly the one that's going to have Ben Affleck's Daredevil in it? I
don't know. I know just Wolverine's going to be in it. It's Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. I one of the shows that I watch, I think they were talking about something like that a while back. I don't know if it's a new Deadpool movie or what, but
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
That was such a shit movie. That one and the Green Lantern. I think DC actually messed up all the movies. Like, because there's no continuity with DC. So they're all over the place. So you don't know what part of the universe that they're actually placing the movie in. They did a great job with like the Dark Knight series, and then they fucked it up.
Now Joker was really good.
Was good.
I actually really, really like Joker.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I can totally agree.
I think DC just does not have a path. And they think that if they put a famous actor in a role that they're going to own that role, and it doesn't work.
Then they had Robert Pattinson as Batman, and
I know. I know.
What are you doing?
It was disgusting. I was just like, this is so, and everybody's like, oh my God, I loved it. I'm like, what do you love about it? Did you love the movie or did you love Robert Pattinson? Like you've got to be able to make that delineation. Did you
Mhm.
actually like the movie? Because the movie was shit.
It was not good.
It was
I'm
not
like,
good.
did you not learn your lesson with George Clooney as Batman?
Right.
And
Right. Or Ben Affleck.
I forgot about that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
My brain, my body's protected me. I forgot about Ben Affleck being Batman. Oh my
Ben
God.
Affleck, Batman.
But he was like, it wasn't
actually,
like his whole
now
movie.
that you mention it,
Yeah.
It was like Batman versus Superman, though, wasn't it?
Yes.
It wasn't like a whole Batman movie. That's why.
Right. Right. Or when
that's
you had like Superman Returns, right? Superman returns from his planet that he thought had blown up, but it didn't, and then it did. So he comes back to Earth, and you're like, what? And now Lois Lane has got a kid. It's Batman's son or Superman's son, and you're just like, how long was he gone? This kid is like 7. What?
A deadbeat dad out there.
Right, right. Just soaking up all the sun flying through the air, not paying no child support.
He may be Superman to you.
That's
but
right.
To me, he's a piece of crap.
He's a deadbeat.
To me, he's owes back child support.
I like this show. This show is like it's supposed to be like all, paranormal, and we're going through movies and
Yeah.
Oh, my show? Yeah, it's only paranormal on the surface.
yeah, I like it.
If I keep to a topic, everybody hates it.
I like it so much. We've been everywhere tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just start saying on repeat, Bigfoot's not an ape, it's paranormal. Bigfoot's not an ape, it's paranormal.
Yeah.
I'll start hating it.
You have a
Thumbs down.
scroll thing. just have a scroll line. Bigfoot's not an ape, it's paranormal through the whole thing, and we can talk about whatever we want.
Yep. You could just like make all the there's a group called the Coalition, and if you can make them mad, you get all kinds of views.
Where is the Coalition, and how do I get in contact with
It's on Facebook, the Coalition of Critical Thinking of Bigfoot.
Really?
Yeah.
And they think he's an ape?
Oh, they don't think it exists at all. It's this weird phenomenon that no one, where it's a group of people that don't believe. All they do is make fun of people that do. But I think they're just secretly just old incels, to be honest.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it's never anybody that's happy.
No, because misery loves company.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like all of the paranormal subreddits have that group of people who are like just trashing on everything in the paranormal. Every post, and they're just trashing on it, and you're like, dude, you weren't there. If you showed me a video and I'm looking at this video and I don't see what you're telling me you saw, I cannot say that you didn't see it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
how would you know?
Exactly. So how are you going to sit there and just trash on everybody because you don't see what they saw? You weren't there. So
yeah.
Are there people that don't believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess that's a dumb question.
Yes, there are. You want to know if there's a coalition that don't believe in ghosts?
I figure there's something like that out there for them
somewhere.
Yeah. I don't
find them. We should troll them.
I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter that much to me, but I've never been don't believe kind of thing.
Right.
People, there's no such thing. What? How do you know there's no such thing?
Say that. Yeah. And then, for me, it was after my father passed. And they said, your dad's in a better place. Your dad's much happier. And I asked, I said, well, how do you know? And they're like, well, you just got to have faith. And for me, faith wasn't enough. Like, I want to know. I want to know what happens because I want to know that my dad is in a happier place. Have I ever investigated or tried to reach out to my dad to see if he's okay? No, because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you don't need
I'm
to know.
scared to find it out. You
You've
know?
also got that aspect of malicious entities trying to
Yeah,
imitate.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
exactly. And so, it just wasn't enough for me. So I try to fill my head with enough knowledge to be able to be assured that, we are able to go on to a better place.
Have you gotten any evidence of it? I mean, of the afterlife, not just like ghosts, like we know, but
Every time I have ever tried to broach that question, it's always like cock blocked. I don't know how else to say it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to answer those questions. It's almost like it has to stay a mystery. Either they can't or they won't. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God, what was that movie with it's best podcast in the
I
world.
would throw
It's
out. Yeah, I was about to say I've been doing that a lot too. But I would throw out in response to that here, some of the research I've been doing. I actually recently came across is a guy by the name of I'm sure it's Jim Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
He is with the Division of Perceptual Studies out of University of Virginia, I believe. What maybe University of Virginia, yeah, and they actually study that exact thing.
Do they
Like they're
really?
actually yes, he actually has a really interesting discussion. Like it's like a lecture or something that he did on YouTube,
Okay.
where it's actually all he's known as like the Professor Reincarnation or something like that.
Right.
Because what he's kind of studying is the idea of life after death.
Right. Now
And
I
so
do.
and he does say there is more evidence to support it than
Uh-huh.
there is to disagree with it.
Right.
But it is like it's one of those things you have to wrap your head around what he's actually talking about
Right.
to really understand it.
I do believe in reincarnation. I do believe reincarnation is a thing. The discovery.
this movie right here. It's got the guy that played Marshall Erickson on How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
And it's got Robert Redford and him on there. And Robert Redford's character makes a discovery that he can tune into the afterlife and prove it's real. And the whole movie is about people just mass killing themselves because of it.
What?
And yeah, and that's that's when you said that maybe you're not supposed to find out. And I'm like, it's like that movie Discovery.
Yeah, because if you find out that there is life after death, then why suffer through the life part?
I think that's part of the reason, because we can't know.
Right.
So we just start throwing each other off bridges.
Right. Be like, I'll see you later, babe.
Not going to work tomorrow, motherfucker.
But yeah, I feel like I believe in reincarnation. I believe that we're all here for a purpose. There's a lesson to be learned.
Mm-hmm.
And we will continue to reincarnate until we learn that lesson or we fulfilled our task. And after that, we move on to what's next. But I'd hate to like investigate my dad and like sit down with an audio recorder in a dark room and find out, either there's not, or my dad's not proud of me, or something, something that you can't take back,
Mm-hmm.
can't take those questions back, and you can't take back the answers. And there's no reason for them to take back those answers. So I would rather not know what he's thinking.
I can understand that. You're picking at a thread.
Yeah, exactly. So
and you may not want the answer
as a whole and learn what I can to be able to teach what I can, and the ways that I do it, I guess, and hope that somebody takes away what. One time I actually was doing the human pendulum, and there was a girl in the audience, and we were talking to a male who died in a car accident. And we kept asking questions and we kept getting answers. It turns out it was her brother who had died 3 weeks before. And he was answering. He was in the pendulum. He had come with her.
Wow.
Yeah, it was heavy. Everybody was crying.
How did they get to it? How did they get to that it was her brother?
So you ask yes or no questions.
Yeah.
And what you guys saw.
Yeah.
Right. So you ask yes or no questions. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Mm-hmm. So as you ask the yes or no questions, you're narrowing down, the questions on, what happened, who they were in life through yes or no questions, which sometimes is wholly impossible. It doesn't, the pieces don't fit, right? Or you get somebody in the circle who thinks that they have to move just so that it's a show, which you don't have to, it works or it doesn't, but we whittled it down. It was like an hour and a half of a human pendulum, and it was a long one. And by the end, we were all in tears. It was crazy, but it was fun. We were in Pulaski. I was at the Star Theater that time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't go up to Pulaski very often, but
no, it's a difficult place.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the human pendulum because it seemed like, it's legit as it can be. And it felt like the way it dwindled down, it wasn't like people doing cold readings.
Right.
But then somebody asked if he was stationed in Newfoundland, and it said yes. I'm like, what was that?
Where did it come from? Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, and you can tell the people who were moving themselves mm-hmm. from the way they move. So if they're bending at the hip or they're bending at the knee, if you're as loose as you're supposed to be, you're going to move. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's not going to be at the hip or, and so you can't, but you don't have to do all that. If you don't mm-hmm. feel anything, you don't feel anything. If nothing happens, nothing happens. You don't have to, it's not a show. It's just, mm-hmm. what I mean?
Yeah. So, it's not a game.
Right. Exactly. And
I kept calling it light as a feather, stiff as a board.
That was the greatest. Yes. I couldn't
think of the name. I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, the human.
I know. I felt electrocuted the entire time I was doing it.
It was an yes. So the energy that's being used from your 4 points, right? Mm-hmm. That's the energy that the spirit uses to move the pendulum. So it's like an electric.
Feeling it now.
Yeah.
It's on me.
It's electric.
Oh, I felt it the whole time. It's just like I was just constantly cold chills.
Right.
The entire time I did it.
Right. And then it's like a pull from deep inside you, not a push on the outside of you. Like it's weird. It's hard to explain. But yeah, I love the human pendulum. And I love when I get somebody who is a skeptic in the middle, like Ronnie D. Ronnie D did not believe in the human pendulum. And as soon as we started, I have never heard a man so F-bombing in my whole life. He was just F this, F that. You've got to be effing with me. Just like,
Who was that?
Ronnie D. He was amazed by the human pendulum. So yeah, I do it, at all the events because I want people to be able to experience it. And then, I also do the SDs and, I love the SDs because it's basically, the person can't lie because they can't hear the questions. Mm-hmm. So they're just spitting out the words that they can make out. So it's a very clean EVP session. So I love the SDs. And I also like to role play. Like I like in the hospital, in the ER, I like to do like a little skit. And then we do everything wrong on purpose. And then we do a quiet session to see if we can get EVPs of them telling us what we did wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to do that too. You know, I'm the last person in the world who wants to sit in a dark room with an audio recorder and just sit there. You know, I feel like that's boring. You know,
And time consuming.
I want to be an active investigator, and that's who I am.
What's the wildest thing you've gotten on the Estes thing? The definite that you were talking to somebody besides the 14 people thing we did, which freaked me the heck out.
Presidents. If you ask them who is your president, I just did one at Harriman, and I was like, "Who's the president?" And they were like, "Carter."
Carter.
Yeah, because that's a good question because it puts them in a time frame, right, of when they were alive. So if their president was Jimmy Carter, you know,
that's crazy. The 70s.
Yeah, and you get a good feeling on, but for the longest time, I never got an answer to that question. Never asked it all the time. Never got an answer, and then just recently, Carter. So, and it tells you a lot. Like there are intelligent hauntings. You know, there's residual, and those are the ones where you get the back and forth. The ones who are like, you know, I'm over here and I see you over there, and they're going back and forth, and you can tell that it's actually two people talking to each other through the Estes. That's more of a residual. But when you get definitive answers to the questions you are asking, that's an intelligent haunting.
Will was saying he thought it was talking to him directly to him.
Yeah. There was definitely at least one or two responses that I feel like I got that were like, no, that's geared toward me. I don't know why, but
yeah. So. Those are the scary ones, though, because if you think about it, they're sitting right next to you. In order for them to manipulate it right at you, they have to be sitting right next to you.
My dad asked what that thing was. He goes, "What's that thing you see on the shows? It sounds like just a bunch of voices."
I never use the spirit box. Yeah. I have one. I have a spirit box 11. I have one. I never use it. You know why I never use it? Because that shit is annoying.
Like a radio signal.
Yes. And the changing of the channels and and you're just like, oh God, it gives me a headache, and I can never do it for very long.
Isn't that what you use for the ST sessions, or something different?
No, I use the Spiritus app for the ST session. So it scans through internet stations in order to get, and it's got, I think, up to 5 internet stations, 5 different channels that it scans through, and then it constantly. So yeah, but it doesn't have the yeah.
That's how Bumblebee talks.
With Bumblebee.
With his radio.
Yes, love Bumblebee. That's my favorite Autobot.
Even the John Cena one.
Yeah.
The movie we did not need.
We did not need that.
No one asked for it.
Nobody asked for it. Love John Cena, just not in a Transformers movie.
I dipped out of the Transformers movie after the giant Transformer testicles.
No, you got up and left.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't necessarily leave the theater, but at that point, when I was just like, really,
like
robot
your mind
testicles?
checked out.
That's what we're at. That's what we're doing. All right, I'm done.
I love it. Yeah, but I did like John Cena in this Scooby-Doo WWE WrestleMania episode. That was good. I love me some Scooby-Doo though.
I just found that video of that
Scooby-Doo.
It's called Scooby-Doo WrestleMania, and it's got John Cena. It's got John Cena. It's got the Miz. It's got all of them. Even Sergeant Hammer, was that his name?
Sergeant Slaughter.
He's in it.
Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah.
Yeah, love.
Okay, I love Scooby Doo, and I've just never heard of this one. So.
It'll never go away. It'll never go away. Yeah. Scooby Doo. And you think about it, okay? So think about the 60s, okay? Not that we were alive during the 60s, but
I wasn't there.
Yeah, we weren't. But there were a lot of old cartoons that came out in the 60s that used the same formula. So you had the talking car, you had the talking shark, you had the talking ghost, and all of them had like 4 teenagers, and they were solving mysteries or whatever. Josie
and the Pussycats.
Yes. Yeah. They all had the same formula, right? But Scooby-Doo made it. What made Scooby-Doo so much better than those other shows?
I don't know. But I've thought about that before. There's several of them that are like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. But they all kind of crashed and burned. But Scooby-Doo is transcendent.
There's another one that it's the same as a show that just came. That's recent. Is it The Walking Dead? No, I think it's the talking car one you're talking about.
With the dune buggy.
Yeah, but there's one of those shows back in the day, that is the same as a popular franchise now.
Really?
But it's not the same thing. It's like, oh my God, this is terrible. This should never happen. This is my life show. I figure it out. But it was the same. I think there were giant monkeys involved.
Oh, giant monkeys?
This is gonna kill me.
Wait, I think I know which one you're talking about.
I do not.
It is it's a show that was just popular in the last 10 years with the exact same name. And oh my God, I should never. This is terrible.
Yeah.
This podcast is over. This is taking my
I'm out.
Yeah. See,
I'm out. I'm done.
What's funny is I started doing this show and didn't have a single topic, and the more I try to drill it down to a topic, this happens. And so I like how my natural disposition is making
a natural flow, and it makes it happen. I like it.
This isn't the first time. Like I've had to quit having people on who are like straight up Bigfoot witnesses because it just didn't feel fun a lot of the time. Like all we're going to talk about is this.
This is what we're talking about. Oh,
the whole time. It was. But I used to have people on. No, it's
Speed Buggy was the name of the car.
This is what I'm saying is a show that was named after one that's popular now. That's within the last 10 years. Is named after, like there was this one, and then there's one made like 10 years, like 50 years later. And I have to just look it up,
but you can't find it now.
Nah, I'm not even trying. I'm looking at something else.
Okay, I'm totally trying to find it.
I was sitting here waiting for him to find it.
I'm kind of looking, but like I got it on like another tab. I don't want to distract from our.
Bobby, your ADHD is showing. You might want to cover that up.
Dude, there's so many people that say that. Like that I'll get to going. Like that's you'll start ADHD in the middle of the show.
Yeah. Just tweaking. Just like I'm gonna look up. Ooh, bear.
What is this?
I should look that up
later. And then you'll forget about it.
Exactly.
No, I won't forget about it.
It'll be eating away at you.
Yeah, I'm going to close that tab. I'm not even looking for it. I made myself a note.
But yeah, Scooby-Doo is transcendent. I love all the old Scooby-Doo cartoons. Like I watch all of the originals.
Mhm.
And I hate
Yeah.
Chill Out Scooby-Doo, the new animation.
What
So
about the Scooby Doo movie where
They
they're like
did-
at the Scooby Doo museum, and Daphne's family runs it? It's like the newest one.
no.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
But I do love Velma.
They did.
Have you guys seen Velma yet?
No, I know what you're talking
No.
about.
Oh my god.
Was it good?
Oh my god.
I've heard it wasn't.
It was the shower scene for me.
Oh,
And
I haven't seen
and like there's no dog. Daphne's parents are two lesbian cops. Fred is a millionaire boy who can't even cut his own waffles. And he's like, cutsies. And he's got like boy body, so he keeps covered up. Then you've got Velma, whose father has impregnated a waitress. Just,
Oh wow.
and she's also a lesbian. Shaggy is black.
Shaggy's-
And people really die. It's called Velma. It's on.
well, I remember it coming out. I just never watched it.
It's good. It made me laugh.
Somebody said it didn't hold true to form, and I don't know. I guess I just never pursued it.
It does not. So like they're at the funeral for one of the girls, and they were like, she was a slut, I know, but she was our slut. And the other girl's like, yeah. She was like, we're gonna play her favorite song in the whole wide world. And then they play the if you want it, just do it, ride it, jump on it.
Oh,
I saw that.
Tony.
I was like, dang, she was a slut, but she was our slut. And the other girl's like, yeah.
I saw that clip before. I definitely have. My pony.
That it cracked me up. I was just like, this is so dumb. It's funny.
Okay.
Oh, was Mindy Kaling's. Yeah, that's right. Mindy Kaling made it. Okay, this is all checking out now.
Oh, you found it.
I found the Velma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did a Google search of it, and it says
I remember when it came out. I just
the-
never watched it.
of the almost 9,000 ratings, it gets a 1.4 average.
Yeah. And people were expecting it to be Scooby-Doo, but it's very adult. It's
Okay.
very Adult Swim. Like there's a
Mhm.
whole like shower fight scene with naked girls. Like
Oh, okay. That sounds like Adult Swim.
yeah.
That
It's
sounds
very
so like Adult Swim.
Swim.
I think that Christopher Nolan should do every superhero at least once
at least one time.
to make it feel like it was in the real world. Like I love the real world adaptations of things.
Yeah.
Like Riverdale was one of my favorites.
I liked Riverdale. I was so
It felt
sad
real.
when Luke Perry died.
Yeah, they had to kill him off.
No, yeah, well, they killed him off after he
Yeah.
died in real life, and I was just like, "Oh, that's so tragic." But they had to do something. And then Molly Ringwald, who did not age well, you guys, she wasn't pretty in the '80s, but man, she did not swan out.
It took a turn.
You're just like, whoa, Molly. So yeah,
That was a good show though, and
it was a great show.
Jughead's family
Jughead.
being bikers.
Yes. Yes. I liked Jughead. I really liked Jughead and Jellybean. Jughead and Jellybean.
Mhm.
And I didn't like Veronica's family, but I didn't like Veronica in the comic books anyway, so I was okay with that.
What did Molly Ringwald play in that show?
She played Archie's mom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she was Archie's mom. But yeah, I liked Riverdale.
She sure did.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Then it got repetitive, and I never finished it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That first season.
The whole Betty's Dark Side thing, that shit was creepy as hell. I was like, man.
That weird Olivia Newton-John
Yes.
thing they did with her.
Yes. I was like, ooh. Damn, Betty.
Damn. Calm down, Betty.
Yeah. You're killing people, Betty.
I guess we can try to land the plane because it's been an hour and 40 minutes.
Only?
Only.
Wow.
What happens? These things get going. You forget about it. You look at, oh my God, I got to go to work tomorrow.
Time flies.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the last time that I looked up at the little timer, we were at like 45 minutes.
Yeah, I just looked at it. I looked at it again. I felt like I had to go to the bathroom. Like, how long has it been? Oh my God, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah, tomorrow I am lasering shadow boxes. So I'm doing like Freddy Krueger and Jason and Michael Myers shadow boxes.
Wait, lasering?
Oh, okay.
I have a laser engraver. Well, I have a laser. I've got 2 laser engravers. And then I've got 2 Cricuts, and I just got a 3D printer. So yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Because you remember at the event, I had my table or whatever.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff on those tables I made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you did it all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I love my laser. Last week it was down because I had to get a new focusing lens. You have to order those things. I did not know what the hell to do with myself. I was like, I guess I could write another book, but I really want a laser.
Yeah.
I want to burn things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really wanted to burn things and I couldn't because the laser was down. So
that's right. You were trying to sell with the Bigfoot thing.
Yeah.
That you made.
She didn't buy.
I'm very impoverished.
Same.
I work for a pauper salary for the United States government. They don't pay me anything.
I'm an author. I don't get popular until after I die.
Yeah.
You got to haunt somebody to start pushing.
That's right.
Pushing Ouija board planchettes so somebody says your name.
Buy my book.
Wait, do you ever use a Ouija board?
Okay, so Ouija board is a tool, right?
Oh, Ouija.
I don't think that it's a bad thing at all. But I also don't know how to use a skill saw. So I'm not just going to try to use the skill saw. You see what I'm saying?
That's a clip. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
143.
If you don't know how to use something, don't use it.
Exactly.
Skill saws aren't that hard to figure out, though. Ouija board scares me.
Still, if you don't know how to use it, it'll take off your finger.
Mm-hmm.
So a Ouija board will steal your soul.
Even if you know how to use it.
Even if you know how to
still cut off your finger.
That's right. So I figure it's a tool, and if you know how to use it, good on you. But I don't use them because I don't know how to use them.
Yeah. I had a business plan related to Ouija boards.
Oh yeah.
Not so long ago. Like, what if you went and bought like a house that was kind of crappy, that you don't want a fixer-upper, if you will, and you just paid like a bunch of kids to go in there and open up a bunch of sessions on about 10 Ouija boards and leave them open, and did it like every day for like a month, and just made the house haunted.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden it's a new attraction.
Yeah, but you gotta renovate the house first, so that it's a safe place, and then you have them come in and like leave all the Ouija boards open. Mm-hmm. That way, when they come in to investigate, it's a nice place and they want to come back. Mm-hmm. Remember, heat and plumbing.
Like, has no one ever thought? I mean, if you did that, would the stuff get out? Like, is it like Ghostbusters, where they're going to go drifting around the countryside?
You know what? I don't know. I know that there are wandering ghosts.
You hear people that see them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's not like that TV show Ghosts where they're just stuck on a property.
Yeah.
So, are you letting a bunch of demons out into the world?
I mean, it's definitely a portal to hell.
Yeah.
Just open Ouija boards.
See, I don't know enough about Ouija boards. It's this skill saw, the bane of my existence.
I bet if you did that and put like a camera up, it'd be wild.
That would be crazy. Like put one camera and then a thermal camera, like, and see which. Yes, that would be awesome.
That thing on Paranormal Activity knocked that planchette off the table. I thought, crap my pants.
You know what? I was watching Ghost Adventures. It was that Ouija board episode. And I was like so angry about it. Did you see it? The one
I've
with
seen it before.
The Zozo demon or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably been years.
And I was just like, why is there so much bullshit on TV?
Yeah, who's going to believe that?
But they do.
Yeah.
A lot of people, actually.
Yeah, they do. They do believe it. And that's the problem, right? Because people are sheep. And so we get out there and they want to walk into like Old South Pittsburgh and just have the ghosts like peeking out of doors and be like, hey, we're over here. Come on over, And
if it was that easy.
Right.
It doesn't work.
Everybody would do it.
All right, guys. I have to go.
Yeah. You can.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on your show today.
Yeah, this was fun.
I hope I didn't ruin
I had a
it.
lot of fun.
Ruined.
Nah. This was a great conversation.
I don't know what you think I do here, but it's far from ruined. You're really killing my bibliography. I have to put at the end of this episode.
At the end, you put, and JB didn't ruin it.
Yeah. Where can everybody find you since we're...
Let's see. I'm on TikTok under JB Coates and the number 1. I'm on Instagram under Obsidian_writer. Facebook, JB Coates. And you can get my books on Amazon.
Yep, there'll be links in the description anyway. I'm just saying.
I appreciate it.
Special request. Oh yeah, I make sure to like plug the guests like I'm like they're sponsoring me or something. Why else would you do something like this?
Actually,
exactly.
I do them for fun.
I'm just saying it's fun, but like there's got to be a
that's why payoff. Like when people are like, hey JB, how much do you charge to come to a public event? And I'm like, nothing.
Charge?
Yeah. And they're like, nothing. And I was like, no. And they're like, nothing. And I was like, look, I just want to sell my shit. If you let me sell my shit, you don't have to pay me anything.
That's it.
That's it. I'm not looking to break the bank. I want to help people up and not bring people down. And it's not about monetary gain. You know what I mean?
It is for me, but good on you.
He's like, I want to be rich.
I'm trying to make this happen. I will fake anything. Just give me something to fake.
I know what to get you for your birthday. Some fishing wire.
Like those. Oh, we can wrap it up on this one. Those old medians stuck the cheesecloth up their cooch.
Yes. Yes. Smell it.
Ghost smells like a skunk ape. And that's a callback, and we're done here. See everybody next time. Boom, we're out.
Bye.
I never didn't believe in Bigfoot. I never believed in it. I didn't believe in it. I never gave it any thought.
They kept wood knocking back and forth to each other, and it was in a pattern.
Barn owls don't typically throw rocks.
I come across these tracks.
Sasquatch is still not on my mind.